So this is the framework to build off of what we talked about in the last video. This is the REST, R-E-S-T acronym framework that we as Christian health coaches can use to create health content that heals and brings relief and hope instead of adding to the overwhelm or confusion that's out there. Okay? So let's talk about why so many people are tuning out health content right now. Even content that's actually good. I just want to disclaim, I didn't say it in the last video, but yes, there's health fatigue going on culturally. People are genuinely feeling it. I think it's first of all, from the sheer amount of information that's coming at them and the way the algorithm works. So the minute they like a video about making a smoothie or like a how-to, about making homemade echinacea, uh, that's not a good example. Elderberry syrup. That's the season we're in right now. As soon as they like that or engage with that video, algorithms are going to automatically start swamping them and swarming them with health content. So much of the health fatigue that's out there doesn't only have to do with how things are being framed by the people that are bringing it. It's just the sheer amount that's going on. And I think that's why this is so important for us to talk about now, is because I'm in the mastermind and other places telling you, you need to put out really great value content. You need to talk to your audience. You need to be in front of them. And you're like, they're already burnt out. So that's why we're talking about this, okay? And just that disclaimer that it's not always that people are saying the wrong things or framing it the wrong way. It's that it's often just too much. And so don't let this hold you back from creating your message and what God has laid on your heart to put out there and share. We're just going to frame it with the REST framework, R-E-S-T, which actually stands for recognize, empathize, simplify, and trust. So you're always going to have that in mind when you sit down to create, plan, produce, schedule, and send out your content, okay? Because people are not tuning out health content just because of how it's framed, but also because there's so much out there. And that's even content that's good. But it's not because they don't care about their health. So people still want your content, I guess is what I'm saying. I know. I'm contradicting myself here. Have patience with me, because as I go through this framework, you're going to see that I'm actually not contradicting myself. Okay? They're just tired of fear-based messaging. They're tired of being told they're doing it wrong. And they're tired of trying to keep up with the changing rules that feels like every other week something has changed. Something major has changed. As Christian health coaches, this matters because our content should feel like a place for the people who ingest it. Keep that in mind. You want your content to feel like a place, a welcoming, warm, comforting place. And it's a place of clarity and rest for people, not another source or resource that brings stress and tumultuous feelings to them. Okay? So here's a simple framework that you can use for every piece of content you create. Whether you're making a reel, which is short form content, or you're making long form like this, a YouTube video, a how-to video, or writing a longer email or blog post for your audience. So this is the REST framework. Recognize, empathize, simplify, trust. So first we're going to recognize their fatigue. We're going to just recognize them. I would say as you're going into creating each piece of content, just let them feel seen and felt by you. Look at bringing your message that way. They don't just want more information. They need to feel seen. This is really vital. They're finding when they do data collection and just results collection on medical care versus holistic care and how we are fitting into the picture, that what has been setting us apart this whole time that we have pioneered this movement. I've been one of the pioneers in this movement of Christian health coaching and Christian health practicing. What they're finding is our strength is that people feel seen, valued, and validated by us versus how they feel in the medical realm. So we want to make sure that that's how we're presenting our content. So instead of just jumping straight into tips, I want to start with language like, if you have felt overwhelmed, my friend, by all the conflicting health advice lately, you are not alone. Or if you're exhausted by trying to do it all right, especially eat right, fill in the blank with whatever you're actually helping them with, and still not feeling better, this is going to be for you. Okay. So I'm speaking right to that pain point that's very commonly healthy living fatigue. And then when you recognize that fatigue, their defense is lower. And they're like, oh, she gets me. She's not going to just rapid fire more at me. Okay. So we recognize and we name the fatigue they're feeling. They feel seen before we start to teach. Keeping in mind, they don't just want more information. Usually they don't even want more information. They want understanding and a practical step-by-step. So most people don't want the science behind it. Those are people like you and I. We geek out on the science behind it. They're looking for strategies, solutions. Give me a 1, 2, 3 plan. Give me an ABC plan. Again, going back to what we talked about in the last video, especially in the areas of affordability, accessibility to the things you're suggesting to them, and just the reality of being able to incorporate that into their busy lives. So ask yourself when you sit down to create this content, okay, what is my audience tired of hearing about? Okay. Obviously, I want to avoid that. What health rule might feel confusing to them right now in the area I serve? So if you are more in the food area, what food, restrictive health rule that's out there is going to feel confusing to them? If you do fitness, what fitness myth have they embraced that you could bring relief to? And then the third question to ask yourself is, what pressure are they silently carrying? Okay. So here's a content prompt for you. So-and-so, if you are, obviously you're not talking to one person. So my friend, if you have felt exhausted by all the conflicting health advice lately, you are not alone. Okay. We already did that one. So sorry. So here's a reminder for you. You are not starting with the solution. You're not coming in with more information, even though you're bringing solution and information, okay? You're starting with their experience in those first few seconds with you on video or in the writing of yours that they are reading. Or if it's podcast voice only, in your voice, okay? Next one, E, rest. It's R-E-S-T. So E, empathize without shame. This is where you remove the guilt, the fear, and take from them the idea that they're failing. Many times, especially in the weight loss arena or healthy eating arena, if you're working with people with addictions or coming out of addiction or setting up new habits after addiction, this one can be big. Okay. They feel like I should know better, or I can't get this right no matter what I do, or I'm behind so-and-so or that group of people or that movement. So your role is to interrupt that story they're telling themselves. And you're going to say, you're not struggling because you are lazy or undisciplined. You're struggling because the messaging has been confusing and overwhelming. Empathy immediately creates the safe place for you and that person to connect and for them to allow themselves to step into some change. Okay? Empathize, obviously we're still in the empathize, is going to remove shame and fear. You lower their emotional resistance so that their nervous system can relax. This one is big. If our nervous system is on alert, a lot of times the healthy changes we are attempting are not able to do in our body what they would normally be able to do if we could bring our nervous system into a place of rest. People don't change when they feel judged. They change when they feel safe. Okay. Oh, one last coaching reminder. Empathy isn't agreement. You're not necessarily agreeing with any toxic choices or their, quote, failure to meet the change they're trying to do. You're just understanding what it feels like to be them. You're giving understanding to them so that they can feel okay with where they're at. Okay, S is the next step. We're going to simplify that next step that we then give the person we are serving through our content. So this is where most coaches accidentally overwhelm people. I've done it so many times I can't even count. I'm so with you on this. We give too much information too fast. So instead of trying to give them an entire protocol, I don't even agree with, at this point in my coaching, health coaching, I've been doing it for 15 years now. I don't even agree with protocols per se. We can use that term to mean the steps we're giving them. That's fine. But I believe in giving them no more than 1, 2, 3 small action steps that they can take from that point forward. Yes, it's frustrating to us as coaches when we know that if they would just do 10 steps, they would get that much further. But really, that has to be preserved for each meeting or each time we meet. And for those who can't afford that one-on-one experience with us, consider having lower cost experiences where people can continue to get action steps from you. That lower cost meaning group experiences like challenges or resets or small group coaching. It's really important that we just offer one gentle, doable, affordable, easy to implement step, okay? So there's lots of examples for that. I always did the example of if I was working with a client one-on-one and we were going to be working together for a few weeks, we literally started out as small as increasing their water if they were dehydrated or electrolytes if that was an issue, tracking their current habits just so that we could both get a better glimpse at things. Very small steps. Making a smoothie to replace a snack or a meal, depending on what their weight loss or eating goals were. Making homemade, healthy, robust smoothies. Very simple, doable, affordable, achievable step for no matter what their budget, no matter what their lifestyle. But small steps done consistently are going to show up so much more powerfully in their life, and they're going to realize, oh, this is doable. Like I can turn this into a lifestyle. It's going to replace their overwhelm with clarity. And one peaceful step, if that's all you ever gave them, if that's all you had the chance to do, like in a piece of content, it beats 10 perfect steps that never get done. So one doable step that they're able to do from that point on can be a game changer for them and fuel them to want to make more and more and more changes versus you got to do these 10 things and you got to do them starting tomorrow, this week, and go empty out your pantry. They're not going to be able to do that. No one can. It's too much change too fast. And it's a pressured, stressful thing. So we can give these small steps. I know it's difficult. I'm the same way, and we want to give everything at once, but we can pull back and just do this so that they are able to put it into action. Okay, and the final letter is T for trust the body's design. We know who designed our body. He designed it perfectly. He created it to be its own healer. He created that when we get into obedience around how we eat, how we sleep, how we take care of our body and our mind, that the body is then able to do miraculous things for healing. We trust that as a coach, and now we're going to relay that trust to our content and to the people we serve. We reframe healing as cooperation with the body's already beautiful knowledge of how to do this, not control over. So cooperation, not control. So many people have come to believe that their body is broken. I've been there. It's very understandable for those who are chronically ill or seem to never be able to get out of something. But as believers, we know the body was designed by God to heal when it's supported. So your content might include a reframe like, your body isn't failing you. She's beautifully made, perfectly woven together, and it's just communicating with you. And we're going to learn to hear those signals and respond differently. Healing happens when you work with your body, not against it. You're going to restore hope through saying things like that. They might even ride on your belief for them. That's a big one. I know from experience as the patient and as the coach that that's a game changer. But this hope is going to fuel them to be consistent. Okay? We're going to remind them their body's not broken. They can reinforce trust in their body's design. And we're going to point them towards partnering with the process of their body's own knowledge of how to heal. All right. So here's a little reminder to use anytime you're sitting down to make content or sitting down with a client. Ask yourself before you write or put this into video, Does this feel like pressure on them or permission for them? Does it sound like fear or hope? Would this feel like a deep breath to someone who's exhausted? Very similar prompts to what we talked about in the last video. I'm going to give you a little chart here that says the old way versus the new way. This is a filter you can use to quick check as you go to share. The old culture voice would say, this food or food group is toxic. The R.E.S.T framework voice says, this food might not serve everyone. Here might be a gentler alternative. You see the difference? The old way, you must eliminate, fill in the blank. R.E.S.T framework says, hey, let's start by adding this thing. The old culture voice would say, you're doing it wrong and your body's telling us that. Believe it or not. Some of us have said that. The R.E.S.T framework says, here's a simpler way forward. The old culture says, we're going to fix your body. Remember, their body doesn't need to be fixed. It just needs to be supported and fueled in a way to do what it was designed to do, right? So instead of saying, we're going to fix this thing about your body, or we're going to fix your body, we say, we're going to support your body. We're going to partner with your body. Okay? You want your content to sound like more on that R.E.S.T framework side of those prompts. Every piece of content should include a sentence that recognizes fatigue and or exhaustion of fill in the blank, right? Like doing it that way, dieting, ultra restrictive, that kind of stuff. Taking things away, restricting, all of that. And one sentence that empathizes. So we're recognizing the fatigue, we're empathizing differently. We want also, each piece of content should also include one simple step and one trust-based reframe, just like we did with the T in this framework. So every piece of content should include, and I will include this in the description of the video here so that you can revisit this. And I'm also going to put the little old way versus new way filter in the description, okay? So one quick more time. One sentence that recognizes fatigue, another sentence that empathizes. I get it. I've been there. I know someone who's been there. We're all feeling this together, whatever, okay? A simple step, and a trust-based reframe. Those 4 things should be in every piece of content. So an example caption formula. I'm going to put this in your description too, okay? Because these are so good. This would be, I really should do a blog post for this. And that might happen too, but for now I'm going to put these in the description. If you're tired of conflicting health advice, you're not alone. Healing doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. This week, try adding this one nourishing habit, fill in the blank, instead of cutting that out. Your body is wiser than you've been led to believe. So you're reassuring trust-based reframe. What do you guys think? So the reason this framework works is it's going to reduce their decision fatigue. It's going to build their trust instead of fear. It positions you as a guide, not a dominating authority figure. I know this. That is now dead. Don't do that anymore. No, we're a guide. We're walking alongside the people we serve. It aligns with biblical principles, so we're able to bring in those biblical principles of peace, stewardship, patience. It creates long-term audience loyalty. This is why this works. And I promise if you try this, if you haven't been doing this, apply this to what you're doing and you're going to see that it works. You're going to be very encouraged. I want to hear from you in the comments. What happened when you applied even one piece of what I shared here today from the R.E.S.T framework? All right. And in a closing encouragement here, when your content leads with peace, people listen. When it leads with clarity, people act. When it leads with trust, real healing begins. Let your content become a place of rest. Let you, your voice, your videos, your writing become a place of rest for the people you serve. All right, join me in the next video. It's going to be the final video in this health fatigue series I'm doing here on our channel. It's called 7 Ways We Can Lead as Coaches, as Christian health coaches, in a season of health fatigue. We're going to go into 7 additional ways we can lead, wrapping up this beautiful series. Thank you for being here with me as I am starting to bring much more consistent content to this channel. I'm actually going to have a day of the week figured out soon so that you'll know when a new video is popping every time at the same time and day each week. And my goal is actually to get to the point where you've got 2 new videos a week. So pray for me because I'm walking in a new season of healing in my own journey, and I'm trying to make sure I don't bite off more than I can chew. But I have so much I want to bring and share with you here on this channel as we continue on this mission of helping people heal through hope. Okay? Last thing I want to mention, and there will be further information in the description below, so definitely check it out. But we are currently enrolling in the month of January for our Beehive Mastermind. It is an amazing mastermind group with me. There's already 8 amazing coaches in there, and they have kept me hopping. You guys, every day I spend at least an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, helping look things over for them, audit their pages and ebooks and freebies and opt-ins, and also answering their questions, because this mastermind is where I answer in depth, where I'm pouring out my coaching heart for them to help them build a business that honors God, brings them income, and makes a true impact in their own communities. And we already kickstarted it last week, but listen, all the month of January, you are invited, and I would love to welcome you into this mastermind to be with us this year. 2026 is shaping up already to be an amazingly effective year for my business and yours. And I want to work with you in a close way. I want to be able to pour into you in those comment threads and your posts in the Facebook group, as well as weekly live Zooms together. I'm also about to add co-working sessions weekly. I'm telling you, we're busy. We're busy over here, and you're going to see so much more from me here on this channel. But for those of you who want that business coaching guidance from Coach Bess, who's, like I said, I've been doing health coaching and building this business for 15 years now, very successfully, very impactfully, have loved every minute of being a health coach over the years, have written multiple books, have traveled to speak on this stuff. And now I want to just pour into your business what I know so that you are not feeling lost or stuck in any way on how to effectively grow yours as you move into a better business in 2026. So join me in the Beehive Mastermind. It's only $97 a month, you guys. $97 a month to get $500 to $1,000 worth of business coaching from me every single month. You'll see. Once you're in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it is a beautiful place. Also, the peer relationships are shaping up to be quite powerful. Every single coach that has signed up so far, the 8 coaches that are already in there actively working, they are busy. Like, I want to say that not a single one of them has not popped up with questions. Can you audit this? I'm working on this right now. I'm about to do a challenge. I'm about to put this out. How can I make enough money? I have this many bills I need to pay. Show me how to do it. And I show them, and they go out and do it. Don't you want to be surrounded by peer coaches that are working at that level? It is, I cannot even tell you how energizing and exciting it is. And I look forward now to after I get up in the morning and have my coffee and my time with God, I want to jump right into the Facebook group. Sometimes I want to cheat and do it first, just to see what we're talking about that day for their business. That's how energized and dopamine happy this group is making me. So join us in there, because enrollment will close on January 31st. So this is the last chance for a few months before I open it back up again for new members. So we want to have you there. Come work with me side by side. Let's link arms together on your business, and wait till you see how awesome the peers are that you will have for accountability and even like input in each other's stuff. It's just, guys, it's such a God thing. It's just so, it's Holy Spirit filled and Holy Spirit powered, and we're working together. So join us in there, okay? In the meantime, though, join me tomorrow, not tomorrow, in the next video that is the 7 ways we can lead in a season of health fatigue. And we're going to close up this series with that video. I forgot what I was talking about because I got so excited to tell you about the mastermind. Have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.